The next couple of sections, what we're going to do is we're going to try to look for shortcuts to prove that two triangles are congruent or exactly the same. So remember, if triangles are congruent, all the corresponding angles are congruent and all the corresponding sides are congruent. And to try to prove actually 6 angles and 6 sides are the same might take a lot of time. So we're going to look for shortcuts. So if we read through this, it says a building contractor has just assembled 2 massive triangular trusses to support the roof of a recreation hall. Before the crane hoists them into place, the contractor needs to verify that the 2 trusses are identical. Must the contractor measure and compare all 6 parts of the triangle? What are the 6 parts of the triangle? Okay, so we should fill that out. So the 6 parts of the triangle are all the corresponding angles. And all the corresponding sides. Remember, corresponding means the ones in the same location. So for example, we have this truss right here, this truss right here. We'd have to show that this angle matches this one. This angle matches this one. This angle matches this one. So that's already 6 angles that you've measured. You'd have to show this side matches this side matches this side, and this side matches this side. So that's 6 sides you'd have to measure. All right, that's kind of a lot of work. So in this investigation, we're going to try to find shortcuts for determining whether 2 triangles are congruent without having to verify all 6 parts. All right, so we're going to need a compass, a ruler, and a protractor, or a protractor to draw the following triangles. All right, so the first one is side, side, side a shortcut. If 3 sides of one triangle are congruent to 3 sides of another triangle, are they congruent? So construct a triangle with sides 3, 4, and 5. So here's how we're going to do the construction. Let's first start by drawing the 5 centimeter side. So you take your ruler, you'd measure out your 5 centimeter side. Label it. All right, then we are going to swing an arc that's 3 centimeters. So using your ruler, so here's your ruler, you'd take your compass and measure out 3 centimeters. Stick it on one end, and then you would strike an arc. Then you would measure the 4 centimeters, so make it 4 centimeters, stick it on the other one, strike an arc. Where they meet, you're going to connect, and then you'll label. So this should be the 3 centimeter side. This will be the 4 centimeter side. All right, you're going to compare your triangle to your classmates. Are they all the same? Are they congruent? And you'll find yes, they are. So you've just done a proof here to show that if 3 sides of one triangle are congruent to 3 sides of another triangle, then the triangles, so it should be yes, the triangles are congruent. So they're exactly the same. So if I give you the measurements of 3 triangles and I draw the same exact triangle, it should be congruent triangles just by knowing the sides and not knowing anything about the angles. So side, side, side is enough to show 2 triangles are the same. Let's try another one. What about if you have 2 sides and the angle between them? It says if 2 sides and the included angle of one triangle are congruent to 2 sides and the included angle of another, are they congruent? So what does that mean, included? Included means in between the 2 sides that are given. So if I draw a triangle and I have 2 sides, here is the included angle. It's between the 2 sides that are given. So we have side, angle, side. All right, we're going to try drawing this triangle here with sides that are 4 centimeters and 8 centimeters with a 45 angle between them. Okay, so to do that, let's start with an 8 centimeter side. So you'd measure that out. All right, you'd measure 45 degrees, so you would put your protractor right here, measure out 45 degrees. You'd remove your protractor, so you'd have your mark here, and then you'd measure out a 4 centimeter segment. So let's say this is 4 centimeters. And then go ahead and connect that last side. Okay. So here's your included angle, your 45 degrees. So we have side, angle, side. The next question is, compare to your classmates. Are your classmates' triangles congruent to yours? And you will find that yes, they are the same. If you measure that last side should be about 5.8 centimeters. You can measure the angles to compare them, but yes, the triangles are congruent. So side angle side is enough to show that the two triangles are congruent. So there's a symbol for congruent. They're exactly the same given one side, one angle, and one side. All right, we have one last one. Is side-side angle a shortcut? So if two sides in a non-included angle, so that means that angle is not between your two sides. So here's a picture of what that might look like. Let's say we knew this side, and this angle. This is side, side, and the non-included angle right here. All right, so let's try to construct this triangle. A triangle with sides 12.8 centimeters and 11.4, and an angle that's 58. All right, the angle cannot be between the given sides. So there's a couple ways to construct this triangle. First, you could start with a 12.8. All right, then you could measure out, put your protractor at one end and measure out 58 degrees. So let's say this is 58 degrees. And then you could, from over here, make an arc. So take your ruler, measure out your compass so that this is 11.4, and swing an arc. From the side right here, you'd swing an arc. Then for this 58 right here, you would construct a line that meets your arc. So I should have made my arc wider. And then you're going to connect that last side. So we'll connect that last side. So this right here should be 11.4. And this should be 58. Okay, there's another way that you can construct this triangle. So I've always stopped working, but I'll do it by hand. You could start with the 11.4 right here. You could measure out your 58 degrees from one side right here. Or from the other side. Actually, let's do it from the other side. So here's my protractor. Measure out 54 or 58 degrees. Strike an arc from the other end, that's 12.8 centimeters, so stretch your compass to 12.8 centimeters, strike an arc. And where that meets this line right here, I should use a straight edge. Okay, so where this meets, then draw your triangle. Okay, and then compare. So right here is side-side angle, a congruence shortcut. And actually, it's possible to construct different triangles. So right here, will all the triangles be congruent? No, we can construct different triangles. So SSA doesn't work. It doesn't always work, I should say. And I apologize, my Mobi is not working. Okay. All right, so now for each of the following, name the conjecture that leads to each congruence factor. Okay, so remember the only two that we know are side, side, side. Oh, that works. Okay. So the only two that we know are side, side, side. And the other one is side, angle, side. These are the two that work, and the one that doesn't work is side, side, angle. That one doesn't work. All right, so let's take a look at what we know for this one. All right, triangle PAT is congruent to IMT, and we have to figure out why. Well, we know vertical angles are equal. We know that, let's see, alternate interior angles, we have two pair lines and a transversal. So this angle is equal to this angle, and this angle is equal to this angle. So we have to figure out, do we have side, side, side? And here we don't. Do we have side, angle, side? No, we just have side, we have angle, side, angle, which we don't know. So we don't have any of these, so this is right now not enough information to figure it out. All right, this next one, we have a 6, an 8, and a 9 in both of these. So they're congruent by side, side, side. This next one, TS bisects MA. So if it bisects, it cuts it in half. So here's MA, it bisects it. These two are the same. MT is congruent to AT. So these two are congruent. And MST is congruent to AST. So they're congruent triangles. But we have to figure out if they're congruent here. So for this one right here, they actually share a side right here. So right here, they're congruent by side, side, side. Because you just have to take a look at what you know and figure out, do I have side, 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 or side, angle, side? All right, let's do the next one. For each of the following, name a triangle that's congruent to the given triangle. Remember, order matters. You have to name it in the same order. If you cannot show any triangles to be congruent from the given information, right, cannot be determined, and explain why. Okay, so M is the midpoint of AB. So if M is the midpoint of AB, it means this is equal to this. And it's the midpoint of PQ. So these two are the same. And we have vertical angles. So here we have side, angle, side. And that was one of our conjectures, side, angle, side right here. All right, so we have to name the congruent triangles. So we have to name it in the same order. So APM, name it in the same order. So A matches angle B right here. So we'd say B. P would be matching to Q, and then M would match to M then. So when you name it in the same order they named the corresponding triangle in, or the congruent triangle in. All right, we have a kite with KI congruent to TI. All right, we know they share this side right here. And if it's a kite, then we know that these two sides are the same. So it's the same triangle by side, side, side. Name it in the same order. KIE matches TIE. There we go. And the last two, SQR. All right, so we know that they share this angle. So here we have side, side angle, and we knew that was one that did not work, so this cannot be determined. This one right here, let's see, we have parallel lines and a transversal, so these two angles are alternate interior angles. And we know that they share this segment right here. So, do we have enough information? We don't know anything else. Yeah, so this one, again, cannot be determined. Not enough information. Okay, so for your assignment, you will just be looking at, is it side, 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 or side, angle, side? Those work. If it's side, side, angle, or anything else, we cannot determine if the triangles are congruent.